I put this sequence together for those days when your flare might be having you feeling pretty tired and with a lot of pain, but kind of the like constant manageable level of pain that's not just like screaming in your face. Kind of a manage your symptoms kind of day. It may be a little too intense for some of you, depending on, everything. So modify when you need to. Take it easy when you need to. Don't push to the point of pain. Remember, pain in yoga is not beneficial. It's not conducive to anything. In fact, it blocks us from the path to yoga. Pain blocks us from the path to yoga. So avoid pain at all costs. Physical pain. I don't know what to tell you about the mental. Take breaks when you need to. And I hope that afterwards, if you're not at least feeling better, that you're at least not feeling worse. First, I want to suggest that you get comfortable. And that means not only physically, but possibly, if possible, emotionally. You may be in a really cramped space, but there's got to be somewhere you can go where it's just you on your mat with no distractions. I'm outside in the woods, which means I will be smashing mosquitoes. I practice ahimsa toward all sentient beings, and I don't believe mosquitoes are sentient beings. I believe they're demons that are put here to be destroyed by my hand. Namaste, mosquito. I'm going to give a fair amount of options to use a strap with. Other than that, you don't really need anything. Just find somewhere that you're comfortable. If you're into a bunch of hippie shit like stones, I have gathered together stones for calming. This is lepidolite, and I don't know if I'm saying that right. This is angelite. It's a palm stone, so you can hold it in your hand. This is a giant amethyst, and I have a fluorite. There are a few others, like black tourmaline. If you feel like that helps. If it works, it works. You know it for yourself. Since each day is going to be different, remember that you can modify as you need to, make it harder or easier. And with fibromyalgia and a lot of chronic pain conditions, one important factor to managing the conditions is continuing to exercise or move the body, get blood flowing, get circulation going. So there will be movement, lots of movement, but it's going to be gentle movement throughout this series. Get comfortable. You can sit or you can lie down on your back to start with. A position that your spine can be neutral in without discomfort, so that you can start to breathe. You can start to bring your focus inward to the breath. You can rest your hands on your lap. You can have palms facing up if you'd like. If you feel like the heart chakra needs a little bit of thought, you can have tip of index finger to tip of thumb. Close your eyes. Take a moment to feel your body, get in tune with your body, feel the parts of your body that make contact with the earth. If you find tension anywhere in the body, let it go if possible, even if it's just a little bit. You might be surprised how much you can let go of just by bringing awareness. Relax your jaw. And keeping the lips closed, start to notice or observe your breath. Notice the depth of your natural breath, the speed of it. Don't judge any part of it, just observe for now. Maybe it's shallow, maybe it's not. And now breathe in a little deeper, and as you do, shrug your shoulders up. As you exhale, pull the shoulders back and down. Again, breathing in deeply, shrug the shoulders up. Maybe not high, it's not about where or how far to go. Exhale, drop them back down. Again, inhale a little deeper, shrugging shoulders up. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. And then let your arms relax once again, either in the position they're in or some other way. And just continue to breathe deeply, slowly, Deepening inhales and lengthening out your exhales. If your mind gets pulled away to the breath, simply bring it back to the breath. Feel the expansion in the abdomen as you breathe in. And at the bottom of your exhale, start to draw the low belly in toward your spine. As you're doing that now, bring your hands in front of you. And as you inhale, allow the belly to expand again. Feel the belly expand as you breathe in, and then eventually the rib cage as you continue to inhale, filling up the lungs. Hold the breath in, and then slowly exhale it out through the nose, slow. Feeling the chest drop in, the belly draw in, exhale out completely. Pull the navel in toward the spine to empty out the lungs. Hold the breath out, and then gently start to breathe in, relaxing the throat to inhale. Belly expanding first, and then the chest and ribs. Maybe even the top of the chest near the collarbone lifts a little bit as you continue to breathe in. Hold the breath in, and then slowly exhale, slow through the nose, emptying all the way out. And just return to a natural breath rhythm. If you need to breathe faster or go back to shallow again just to relax, go ahead. Breathe however feels right for your body right now. And we're going to start some movement. So come to the hands and knees, whether you're seated or laying on your back. If you're on your back, you can just roll over. Cat-cow is where we'll start. Range of motion will depend on your body, not mine. The inhale is lowering belly, lifting head and tail. Get a full breath in. Exhale, round your back the opposite way. Tucking chin, tucking tail. Inhale again, extending the spine, belly drops, head and tail lift. Going to whatever range of motion suits you, and then exhale, flexing the spine slowly. Do that 2 more times. If your wrists start to get tired, you can go to the fists or even go down to the forearms. If you're familiar with the Ujjayi breath, you're welcome to engage that now, gently constricting the muscles in the back of the throat. And maybe it's just more comfortable to just breathe with a regular breath here, but make sure that you're breathing either way. Come back to a neutral spine now. And we're going to go into a lunge. Your right foot will go forward. Hands can be on the thigh, or you can put blocks under your hands. And we're going to go in and out from just more of a kneeling position to a lunge. So dynamic stretching of left hip flexors. Start kneeling with the front foot a good distance forward. And then let the hips drop forward. Don't force anything. This is going to be the inhale. And exhale is going to push the heel down to just go back to kneeling. Inhale, let the hips sink forward. Pull the navel in as you exhale, engage your core. Come back up. Inhale, drop forward. Exhale, draw the navel in, come back up one more time. Feel free to do whatever you want with your arms. And then once you're back up there, pause. If you need to bring hands to the floor, do so. Otherwise, just swing around to both knees and then switch. Left foot's forward. Gently let the hips drop forward and down, breathing in. Go to a mild stretch in the right hip flexors. Exhale, push down to come back out. Inhale, allow the hips to drop forward with no force. Gentle stretch. Exhale, come back out. Inhale, let the hips drop forward. Maybe you have a wall next to you can put a hand against. Exhale, come back out. Navel in one more time. Inhale, come forward. Core is still engaged. Exhale, push down, come back out. Feel your core activate. Keep your chest lifted. And then if you need to bring hands down, go ahead. Otherwise, swing to both knees. Come down to the palms. And now we're going to do a little movement with the legs and some core activation. So the first thing is taking right toes to the back of the mat. Keep the foot down or add more work by lifting the toes off the mat. Another option is to make it harder, more challenging by reaching left arm forward. Take a breath in, reach forward and press back if your hand and foot are off the floor. And then as you exhale, the right knee goes toward the chest. So if your toes are on the floor, you can kind of slide them across it. Use the core, your core muscles, round your back. If you had the arm forward, maybe your elbow to knee. Inhale is going to bring us back to the starting point. So maybe you slide back with toes on the floor. Maybe you're reaching. Exhale, knee underneath you. Just engaging core muscles. Don't worry about how far you go or don't go. One more time, extending back. Inhale. Check that you're not sinking into the shoulders. Exhale, round your back belly in. Engage the core muscles. And then come back to both hands and knees. Now we're going to sit back onto the feet. Maybe you sit with something between them. And just shake out the wrists for a moment. And now circle the wrists. Reverse direction. Good. Come back to all fours again. If you prefer, you can go to fists, or you can even go to forearms. Take left toes back. Again, you can keep them on the floor, or you can hover the leg. Maybe right arm reaches forward. Remember, this is your practice, and every day is going to be different. Take a breath in. Exhale, knee toward your chest underneath you. Round your back. Inhale, extend back out again. Maybe you're sliding toes across the floor. Maybe you're adding more challenge by not. Exhale, round your back. Let that be your focus. Spinal flexion, core engagement. One more time, extending out, whether your arm is lifting or not. Inhale. Exhale, press waistband up, belly in, and then release back to both knees again. Now we're going to stand on the knees. Shake out your wrists. Now you're welcome to stay on the knees, or if you prefer to stand, it's also an option. Turn palms forward and then out, and then reach out and up overhead. Breathe in. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. 2 more times doing that same thing. Inhale, reach down, out, and up. Maybe look up. Exhale, hands to heart. And you can alternate between going to the knees and standing too. 1 more time. Inhale, reach out and up. Maybe a little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, bring your arms down. Take a moment to relax your arms. Maybe wiggle the fingers or pump your fists. Now we're going to come to standing if you're not already there. So you can go through a lunge, lifting the back knee, hop foot forward. Take your time. Once you're up, bring your hands to your hips and step your left foot back a few feet. If you need a calf stretch, let the heel drop back toward the floor. If you want more balanced challenge, stay up on the tiptoes. Straighten the front leg. Lift up the chest and then bend forward at the hips. When you feel the stretch in the right hamstrings, where it's a comfortable stretch, bring your hands to maybe the thigh or blocks on the floor. Make sure you're not pushing against the knee joint though. You can even bend the knee more if that's helpful. Find comfort. Now walk the hands up your thigh, come back upright stand. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and then interlace fingers behind your back or hold opposite forearms. Expand your chest, breathing in. And as you exhale, stay with this lifted spine. Pull the belly in. Inhale again, feel the expansion in your chest and your heart center. Try to keep the expansion as you exhale, drawing the belly in. Good. Come back to neutral spine, release your arms, shake them out if you want to. And then bend the front knee and step to the front of the mat. Shake out your legs if you want. Bring your hands to your hips or keep them down by your sides and step the right foot a few feet back. Again, maybe let the heel drop back. Straighten the front leg if that's comfortable for you, or keep a bend in the knee. We don't want to stretch that feels like anything's tearing. We want a gentle stretch in the back of the left thigh when we go into the stretch. Chest lift, shoulders back, and then bend at the hips. Hands to the thigh, making sure the spine stays neutral. Keep the shoulder blades drawing back, chest open. Don't push on the left knee to bend backwards. And then the next inhale, root down both feet. Walk your hands up your leg. Stand. Roll the shoulders back and down. Interlace fingers or hold opposite forearms. And whichever went on top, switch it. So if it's thumbs, switch the thumbs and the rest of the fingers. If it's forearms, switch the forearm. Expand the chest, that area across the collarbones. Maybe look up a bit, not just by dropping the head back, but by extending the whole spine. Breathe deeply, expanding on the inhale. Keep the ribs expanded as you exhale and just draw the belly in if you can. One more breath just like that. And then as you exhale, come to neutral, release, shake it out. Bend the front knee, step forward, shake it out. Now you're welcome to sit if you'd like to, or kneel, or stay standing. We're going to reach the arms out and up overhead. Keep the hands separated or interlace fingers and press palms up. And then do an upper back bend so your thoracic spine extends. Keep the knees unlocked. And then go back to neutral spine and tilt to your right. Lateral flexion of the spine. Inhale, come back up to neutral again. Exhale, tilt to the left. Lateral flexion again. Inhale, come back up. Turn the palms together. Exhale, release your arms. Give your arms a moment to let the blood flow back in. And do that again. Reach your arms out and up. Either keep palms facing each other or interlace fingers. Press palms up. Do a little back bend first, so knees stay unlocked, but thoracic spine extends. And then inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, right flexion, lateral flexion. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, left, lateral flexion. Inhale, neutral. Turn palms together. Exhale, release your arms down again. Relax, shake them out if you need to. Maybe shake out your legs if you need to keep the blood flowing in them. It can be hard sometimes when it feels like your whole body's so inflamed that your skin is stretched like a tightly stuffed sausage, but sometimes that means we need to move and get stuff to flow, to get that stagnation moving. Bring your hands to your heart at the front of the mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, press your palms together. And then on an inhale, reach your arms out and up, or you can go forward up if you prefer. Exhale, fold forward. I'm bringing hands to heart. That's probably one of the easier positions for the arms. Bring your hands to blocks or maybe your shins or thighs. Look forward first, then lift your chest. Come into a half fold. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold back down. Now, if it feels good to stay right here in this forward fold, maybe grab opposite elbows, go ahead. If you prefer to step into downward dog, if you're feeling pretty good about that at this moment, you can do that. 3 breaths in either forward fold or downward dog, maybe pedaling out legs if you're in downward dog. Remember, this is your body. There are many, many options. I don't have time to give them all. Now we're going to go down to the belly. So lower the knees to the floor. Harder option is bending the elbows straight back to go to the belly. A little easier is to go to the forearms first and then lower down. Once you are down, take your legs a little wider apart than hips and be on the forearms for Sphinx. Press the hips into the floor, feel your glutes contract. Pull the shoulders back, chest forward, belly in. So belly pulling in is important too because that supports the lower back, so the bend doesn't come from just the lower back. It's fairly even in the whole spine. And you can also make the legs work a little harder by lifting the knees, pressing tops of feet down. Remember to breathe. Come down at any time and rest. If you haven't come down already, go ahead and relax. Maybe rest your head on your forearms, or if you want to just roll onto your back, do that. If there's any other pose that calls out to you, do it. Release tension in the lower back and hips by bending knees and windshield wiper, bring your feet side to side. Bring your feet to the floor now if you're doing that option. Bring your hands under your shoulders and take the legs back together. You can have tops of feet on the mat or tuck the toes under, whatever you prefer. Toes tucked under will help prevent cramping in the arches of the feet. Tops of the feet on the floor makes it a little easier on the lower back. So those are some reasons you might choose one over the other. We're going to lift the upper body, but not by using the arms, but by using the back muscles, your upper back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then extend the spine. So I'm not pushing down with my hands, and you can even hover the hands off the mat to feel that. Lift up as high as you want to without pushing too much, and lower down as much as you need to. Just do it a few times, coming up on the inhale, lowering down on the exhale. Legs are active to support the lower back. One more time. If you're still doing it, you can rest. So remember, anytime, don't do something if it doesn't feel good or if it hurts. Now rest. However you like. All right, let's come up to a seated position. This is some stuff for the hips. First is Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out to the sides. Hold on to the ankles, shins, or feet. Before you bend forward, first lift up and lengthen. So from sits bones rooted, lift sternum and crown of the head. Feel the spine extend. Keep that extension as chest goes forward, pulling your belly toward the heels. If your forearms reach the inner thighs, maybe you press against them to open up the hips a little more. Maybe just staying upright with the knees apart is enough. Remember to honor your specific needs. People who have chronic pain tend to be type A personalities where we want to push and push and push and push and push and push and push until we can no longer push. I believe that our chronic pain condition becomes activated because our body and mind finally says, nope, that's enough. You're done. Time to start listening to me. I can't get any louder. Now I'm going to make you suffer. So take that for what it's worth. Eventually, we have to learn to listen. Come back up, bring the knees together. Now we're going to do a spinal twist. The easier option first is just having the left leg straight out in front of you, right knee bent. A little more challenging would be a half Lord of the Fishes variation. This is if you have a fairly advanced practice already, where you have your legs like this. This isn't a tutorial on Ardha Matsyendrasana, so I'm giving it as an option without much explanation because it's fairly intense. So this is one leg variation. This is the other. Left hand will go to right knee, right fingertips behind you as a kickstand to lift the chest up first, and then pull against the knee to twist at the waist. If you take the upper arm outside your thigh, make sure that you're able to get the upper arm, not the forearm. So try not to force hyperextension of your elbow. Ardha people might look something like this. Half bind or full bind if you're really advanced. Now this is me with a very flexible body and not a whole lot of inflammation at the moment. Okay, release the twist, unravel your legs. Before we switch sides, straighten your legs out in front of you. Lean back onto your hands and then just open up the front body, whether you just lift up the chest or if your shoulders are okay with it and you're feeling fairly strong, you can lift the hips up with knees bent, or even harder as legs straight. I often don't like very many of those options. I'll lift the chest, sit back up, and we'll do the other side. So your left knee is going to be bent now, right leg may be straight, or you're in Ardha Matsyendrasana start position. Right hand to knee, left fingertips behind you, chest comes up first, root down, sits bones. Inhale, exhale, pull against the knee with the right hand to turn the rib cage. Shoulders both stay down and relaxed. Remember, if you want to bring your right arm outside of the thigh, make sure that the upper arm can get there, not just the lower. You can position your arm like a stop sign to help. Maybe you do a bind. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release your twist. Unravel your legs. And then we're just going to lie down on the back. If you're feeling pretty fatigued by now and you know your body, you know you've had enough, support yourself to lie down. If you're feeling really good, you can keep making it more work by reaching forward and coming down with core strength. Just relax once you're down. Find whatever position with your legs feels good. It's going to vary depending on the second, every second of the day. And now bend the knees with feet on the floor, but take the feet wide apart. Maybe they go to the edges of the mat, maybe even wider than that. Some of you might want to walk the right foot even further to the right for this. It's to go a little deeper. We're going to let right knee drop in to the left. Left knee can drop out to the side, or you can keep it up. Find a position where the right knee doesn't hurt at all. And it might have to do with how you're positioning the ankle. We're going for a stretch in front right hip, kind of toward the outside of it, in an area where the psoas muscle crosses over the hip joint and joins with the iliacus. Ilium is the bone. Iliacus, I believe, is the muscle. It's where two become one, and the iliacus psoas. I have my right arm reaching behind me because it adds more stretch to the right side body. That's an option. You can also stick a pillow or something under the right thigh if you need some support. Remember the breath. If it's shallow or you find it difficult to breathe, there's something that needs to release a bit. Something needs to be let go of, whether it's physical exertion, mental attachment, past life karma, I don't know. All right, now take the left knee up if it's down, and then right knee up. The left knee now is going to drop in, so if you're fairly flexible, you can walk the foot further over to the left. As the knee drops in, you're welcome to lift left butt cheek. The left knee does not need to touch the floor, it can stay up. What's very important is that the knee joint does not hurt. If it does, adjust so it doesn't. Again, sometimes it can be a simple adjustment of the ankle joint. Left arm can go behind you to add that extra stretch if that's what's calling out to you. Remember, the breath is everything. The breath is your guide. Bring the right knee up if it's dropped out to the side, and then take the left knee up. Heel toe your feet together, and then hug your knees to your chest. Feel free to rock side to side if you'd like to. Come to stillness, bring your feet to the floor. Move your hips over to the right. Take knees up and over to your left for spinal twist. The reason for all that positioning is so that when you make your spine rotate, you're less likely to pinch one side. So the discs on one side of the spine aren't more compressed than the other side. If your shoulders are okay with it, you can have arms out to the sides, palms up. We do want right shoulder blade to stay down in this option. So that could mean propping something under the left thigh. If that doesn't make sense, just trust me. If there's pinching in the lower back, draw the knees closer up toward the chest. Find your steady breath. If you feel like you need to keep moving, because sometimes it is more painful to stay still than it is to do some movement, you can take your right arm up and over to the left, and then bring it over to the right again. Over to the left with control, mindful movement, not just flailing because you're in pain, because that probably won't help. Maybe after you've done that a few times, you're able to hold still with comfort, or maybe you need to keep moving. We'll switch sides now. Take the knees up, hips back to center, and then over to the left. And then don't just let the knees drop to the side. Take the feet off the floor, then knees over. Again, so the spine is less likely to compress on one side. Another option for the arms is to rest your left arm on the waist, maybe with the forearm across the belly. It could be a good option if there's shoulder injury or pain. If you need that movement, you can reach left arm up and over to the side, and then the other side. It's not just the arm moving either, it's the whole spine rotating more, and then less, and then more, and then less. If you're feeling like a lot of your symptoms are coming from tension in the hips, here's a little sequence that's fairly easy. A strap will go around your right foot, or you can hold the foot if you're pretty flexible. This creates a stretch in the hamstrings. And you can hold this still, or you can do breath with movement if you need to move by just bending the knee and then straightening the leg. Taking it slow, maybe inhaling in one movement and exhaling in the other. You can also extend left leg down if you like. Now the next thing, keep the knee as bent as you need to and let the right leg go to the right. This will increase the inner thigh stretch. Now you can stay here, or you can move the hips so it would be just kind of tilting them to the side, like you're sliding your butt cheeks across the mat. This is lateral flexion of the spine by moving the pelvis, if you're familiar with those kind of terms. So this is just an option if you feel like you need to keep moving. Keep breathing either way. And we'll now bring the leg up above the hip. Left hand holds on to the strap or the foot on the outside of it if you're that flexible. The right leg will cross to the left. Maybe right arm out to the side to counterbalance. You can bring the arm behind the head if that feels better. And movement in this one is to just kind of, for lack of better word, shimmy the rib cage side to side. So you could think of it as lateral flexion of the spine via the movement of the rib cage. Keep breathing. Now bring the leg back above you. Bend the knee, take off the strap if you're using it, and then extend the leg down if you need to release that hip flexor area. Let's do the other side now. The strap will go around the left foot, or you hold the foot with the hands. Stay still in this hamstring stretch, or bend the knee and straighten it. It doesn't even have to be a big movement to satisfy the urge to fidget. Remember, pain is not going to help anything. Don't push to the point of pain. All right, now, if you have a strap, you hold it in the left hand. Keep the knee bent as much as you need to let the left leg go out to the left. Feel free to straighten right leg down if you want. That could make the hip pop, so be mindful if that causes pain. And then if you need the movement, it's hips shimmying side to side. The right side body shortens as the left lengthens and vice versa. Keep breathing. Maybe you use the movement as cues to breathe. Now bring the left leg back up above you. Switch so right hand holds the outside of the foot or both ends of the strap. And then bring the left leg to the right. The left butt cheek can lift if you want to let it. Left arm maybe out to the side or behind you, wherever you want that feels right for your body. And then the shimmy comes from the rib cage if you're doing movement. Bring the leg back up above you. And both knees in rest with feet on the floor. If it feels better to have knees out to the side, soles of the feet together, that's an option. One more movement. Have the feet flat on the floor but wide apart, wider than your hips. And then we're just going to let the knees both drop gently to the left and then come back up through center over to the right. Go as fast or as slow as your body needs. You might do one inhale to the right and then the exhale to the left to go a little faster. Or you might go a little slower with the inhales bringing you to center, exhales over to the right. Inhale to center, exhale left. Go whatever pace suits you, but make sure the breath doesn't stop. If it feels good to hold one of these positions a little bit longer, please feel free to. Come back to center. Bring your arms at your sides with the elbows bent and your palms facing each other. Forearms will be perpendicular to the floor. Feet are hip width apart. Press the upper arms down. Feel your chest expand a little more. Now lift up the hips, pushing feet into the floor. This is your breath in. And then on your exhale, come down to your back. And again, we're going to do that pushing upper arms down first. Inhale, lift the hips. Chest is expanded. Exhale, come down with control. Go to your range of motion. Maybe it's not even lifting at all. Inhale, shoulders press down, chest expands. Maybe just a tiny lift of the hips. Exhale, come back down. Inhale again. Expand chest, lift hips as high as you want, maybe not high at all. Exhale, come down. Remember, this is what you need and only you know it. Doctors can't even know it. Again, inhale, lifting as much as you want or not at all. Maybe you're just lying there breathing. Exhale down, slow. Inhale up if you're still moving. If you're staying still and resting, just follow the breath. Exhale down. If you're feeling muscles burning, maybe rest. 3 more times if you still need the movement. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you were moving still, stay on your back and rest. Inhale. Relaxing. Exhale. Relaxing. Inhale. Relaxing. Exhale. Relaxing. Maybe legs come down. Inhale. Slowly. Relaxing. Exhale. Slowly. Relaxing. Inhale. Slowly. Exhale slowly. If you're not already down, extend the arms down, extend your legs down. Get yourself comfortable for stillness for several minutes. If you find yourself getting fidgety for these next several minutes in Shavasana, feel free to move around. Maybe you just need to squeeze your fists and spread the fingers out. Maybe you need to flex the ankles and point the toes or move the legs. Sometimes it just hurts too much to be still. Move if you need to. And then notice after some movement if it's okay to be still for a moment. And if it's not, then keep moving. But continue to bring your mind back to the breath, whether you stay still or need to fidget. It is very important to take the time to be still, be quiet, relax, and do nothing, especially when you have chronic pain. Everyone needs to do that, but especially those of us who have chronic pain, because we are being depleted all day long, more than the average Joe. We need to replenish more than the average Joe. We can achieve great things if we are replenished. When we are depleted, we can't be of use to anyone or any society. We can do amazing things when our cups are full, or even at half tank, as long as we can replenish and refuel. We also need this time, this quiet time, to connect to the inner voice that tells us when we've depleted past the point of being able to recharge for what's next. Follow the breath, guide it, keep it full, keep it filling up your cup. If your mind wanders, simply bring it back to the breath. Let thoughts float by, always bringing the mind back to the breath. If it's helpful, maybe you focus on the coolness of the air as it comes in through the nose, the warmth of the air as it comes back out through the nose. When you're ready, you can invite some gentle movement into the body, wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles if you want. Maybe stretch, do organic movements to wake up the body. And then roll to your side to gently press into a seated position. As I close with this next mantra, if you have any stones that you'd like to hold on to, you're welcome to. If you'd like to come back to that heart chakra mudra with tip of the index finger against tip of the thumb, you're welcome to do so. If you don't believe in that hippy dippy bullshit, then don't do it. Simple enough. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The light in me honors the light in you, regardless of how bright or dim that light may be. Namaste.